अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. So we saw Nachiketa has come to the third boon. We saw the whole story. And now Nachiketa has come to the third boon and he is supposed to ask for the third one now. So let us see. And he has asked, Asti teike, nasti teike. Very general question. Okay. But Yama responds to the intent of that question. He understands what the boy wants. Okay. It's very rare that the student going to learn asks the perfect question. Okay. If Nachiketa didn't ask, all of us are in good boat. All of us are safe because Nachiketa didn't ask a perfect question. So it's okay if we don't ask. Okay. Very often I see people saying, "Oh, Swamiji, my question is stupid." The only stupid question is the one that was never asked. Okay. So don't worry about that. Okay. And now Yama responding to him. First wants to see whether the guy is fit for this knowledge. As I told you in ancient days, this knowledge was never given unless it was asked for and only given to an adhikari. That's the yuga difference. Yeah. Kali Yuga, the students get ready along with the learning. Okay. Yeah. That's why it takes time. If you are doing it part time, 10 years, 15 years, it will take. Because we have to get our minds ready along with the learning. No? Yeah. That's why here, one Upanishad was enough for Nachiketa. For us, 10 Upanishads, we are still struggling. Yeah. So that is the difference. So here Yama checking out. Okay. He says, really, you want to know about that? Devereva trapi vichikitsatam pura nahi suvijneyam anuresha dharmaha anyam varam nachiketo vranishva mamo parastiti masrajayanam. Deverapi atra vichikitsatam pura. Even the gods had doubt about this. Even the gods, all the beings in heaven, etc., all the different lokas, higher lokas, they also doubted it in the beginning. Okay. Nahi suvijneyam. No. This is not easy to understand. Anuresha dharmaha. Very subtle. Very subtle. It's not like studying physics, chemistry, literature, etc. Not even like studying Sanskrit. Okay. You are anuresha dharmaha. Because of that, he says, Anyam vara nachiketo vranishva. Nachiketa asks for something else. Ma puramotsiti ma srajayanam. Don't press me on this. Okay? Don't keep demanding this one. Ask for anything else. Sthiti again, asthiti. Kya farak pada? Oh, you know, okay. Hi. Big deal. That anyway you know. You come up to here, no? You see there are all people here. Yeah. So, ask for something else. Then, so Nachiketa now responds. The ball is in Nachiketa's court now. Devere patra vichikitsitam khilaha tvam cha mrityo yan sujeyam ata vakta cha asya tadriganyo nadabhyaha nanyam vastu tulyam etas kaschat. Hey, you are saying even the gods doubted it. The gods had the same question. That means what? And that's the right one for me to ask. And Tvam cha mrityo yenna sujneyamatraha. And even you are saying, this is not easy to understand. Gods also had the same question, and you are saying, this is not easy to understand. Therefore what? Bhakta chasya togranagnyaha nanabhyaha. I am not going to get a bhakta, a teacher like you, because you know what is beyond life and death. Therefore, I am not going to get a teacher better than you. Therefore, jnana vastu tulyam etas kaschat. There is nothing other equivalent to this. Therefore, this is exactly what I want. और कछु नहीं चाहिए, यही चाहिए मेरे को, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. That's all I want. Now sometimes people can come to learn and seem to be great vairagis, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay, they can look like that. They can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk is a question. You're talking the talk, but can you walk the talk? This is important. Okay, and here, so Nachiketa again says, लड़का है, दुनिया नहीं देखा है. Like how I tell people, you really want to study? When youngsters come, sure I'll teach you. But before that, go have a look at life, work for some time, fall in love, understand what you're giving up. I mean, if you want to be a full-time student, part-time student, not a problem. Anyone can walk in. But full-time karne ka, then do a few things like that. Yeah. Because full-time means you're giving up a lot of things. Therefore, Pariksha Lokan has to happen, as we saw in Mundaka last Upanishad. So now, Yama is playing a game of testing him properly. Okay, here. Okay, what is that? He is giving you alternates. Shatayushaha putra pautran vranishva bahun pashun hasti hiranyamashvan bhume mahad ayatanam vranishva swayam cha jiva sharadam yavavidichyasi. Here, this is what people want. What is that? Shatayushaha. 100 years of life. Take it. Putra pautran vranishva. Children and grandchildren. Granted. Your parampara will go on. Your vamsha will go on. Putra pautran vranishva. Bhumehe mahad ayatanam. Bahun pashun. Ask for a lot of cows. Elephants, hastim, hiranyam, lot of wealth. Ashwan, horses. Because this was a measure of wealth in those days, Yeah. Cattle was wealth. Even today, cattle is wealth, okay? Yeah. If you really use cattle properly, look after them and use them, even when before one step into the grave, they will give you enough money. Yeah. The products that can be made from the dung and the urine is phenomenal. Okay? Yeah. Then hastim, elephants. That's like getting a Merc or a Cadillac. Okay, hastim. Hiranyam, gold, because you need gold to maintain all these. Okay, Ashwan, horses. Bhume mahad ayeshatanam pranishva. Ask for a vast expanse of earth. Okay. Enough to sustain all these things. Swayam cha jivaha sharadam yavidichyasi. You yourself, your children will live 100 years. You yourself will live as many years as you want. Yeah. Look at it. I mean, what is it? It's not a small thing I am offering. Many people will take this and run. हाँ बराबर है, अच्छा है, बस हो गया. Not only that, he goes further. Etat tulyam yadi manyase varam vranishva vittam chirajivikam cha Mahabhumo Nachiketastvamedhi Kamanam Tvam Kamabhajam Karomi. Etatulyam, if equal to this, Yadi Manyasya Varam. If there is any other, if you think there is something else equivalent to what I have offered, Pranishva, ask for it, he says. Vittam Chirajivikam cha. Okay. Wealth, long life, healthy life. Long life is a blessing only if there is health, not otherwise. Mahabhumo Nachikestastvamedhi. I will make you a king of a vast expanse, unrivaled kingdom I will give you. What, you want to be an MLA and a small minister in Maharashtra? Whole kingdom I will give you, unrivaled kingdom. You will live as long, you will rule as long as you live, and your children will follow you. Mahan bhumau. Kamanam tvam kama bhajam karomi. Whatever desire you want, all the enjoyable things, you will be able to get it. Aur kya chahiye? Any desire is fulfilled. You will be able to fulfill any desire you have. What is Yama is offering? Not a small thing if you really think about it. Okay, if you think about it, it's not a small thing. To a Brahmin youth, Brahmana means Daridra. Usually there is not much wealth in a Brahmin family, okay? Because their lifestyle was like that. So to him he is being offered the equivalent of a kingship. Here, take it. Not only that, now, okay, I am going to offer you something more. Ye kamaha durlabha matyaloke sarvan kamascha dhantaha parthayasva ima ramaha sarataha staturya na hidrishaha labaniyam manushe abhimat pratabihi parichasya swasva nachiketo maranam manu prakshi. Here he says, ye kamaha durlabham martyaloke, that you can't get on earth. Very few people have got it. Okay. Like an apsara, Indra sending an apsara to live with them. Okay. Very few. You can count them on your fingers of one hand. It says, ye kama durlabham marty. Sarvan kamas chadanta parthiyasva. Ask whatever you want, it will be given to you. Ime ramaha surataha satur. Take all these women with their chariots, the wealth, the instruments of music, etc. Na hridisha labaniya manushye. The music they will play for you, the dance they will dance for you, the way they will serve you, nobody else will. They are born for that. That's their prarabdha in heaven, okay? That's their prarabdha. Abhimat pratabihi paricharyas. With all of them, let them serve you. You enjoy yourself. As long you don't have a care in the world. Nachiketaha maranam mat anuprak. Don't ask me about what is beyond death, etc. Take all this. खाओ पियो मजा करो, क्या मगजमारी करने का ये in today's language, okay? I don't know. You know, if how many so-called serious students of Vedanta will resist this? Okay. Forget all this. Say, I'll give you $1 billion for yourself. Put up a nice center for you. Okay. Okay. Now how does Nachiketa respond to that? Shobhavaha martyasya yadantiketad sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jivam ata alpameva taveva vaha tavarnutya gite. He says, Shvabhavaha. Okay. These are all ephemeral. 100 years of life, what is it compared to the infinite being? What is this whole earth? A blink in the eye of time and it is gone. Shvabhavaha. It doesn't last until the morrow. Martyasya yad antiketad. Okay. And what happens? Sarvendriyanam jarayanti teja. If I live a life like what you have offered, khao, piyo, maja karo, etc., my long life will not be worth it. Why? Sarvendriyanam jarayanti teja. All my energies, etc., in that enjoyments will be wasted away. I will be a wastrel in life. That's all that will happen. That's why pleasure-centered people have very little power. What he's offering is a lot of pleasures. If you are a person who is pleasure-centered in life, your power is very little. Power, I talk about the ability to get things done. You are pleasure-centered. Even in the world, you don't achieve much if you are pleasure-centered. Go to my website, look at that workshop about what is your center, etc. You will get the idea of what I am talking about. Okay. This is how you prepare for life. Okay. Then, api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Whatever long life you are offering, alpameva. With respect to the flow of time, it is nothing. And really, tell me, let us say somebody got a chance. I mean, these are all must be going in Nachiketa's mind. You live 400 years, 500 years, let us say, of good health. Okay. How many partners will you cremate in that time? How many children will you cremate? How many grandchildren will you cremate? Even if all of them live up to 100 years, 5 generations you have cremated. Is it there something more painful than seeing the death of your own child? Alpameva, he says. Is it worth it? Agreed, let me be healthy, this, that, etc. One lifetime I picked up so many regrets. So many regrets in one lifetime. Imagine 500 years, how many regrets I'll pick up. How much of pain I'll pick up, how much of anger I'll pick up. Will I be, by the time you reach 60, 70, you find it difficult to cope with modern technology, etc. Imagine 500, how much change will happen? How much change will happen in 500 years? We visit places of our childhood days and say, not the same. What do you think will happen in 500 years? That is why, for Ashwatthama, that is a curse that Krishna gave for killing the Pandava children in their sleep, which was very anaryam. Okay? He says, you will not be able to use your Ichha Mrityu. You will live until the end of the Kalpa. Imagine someone like Ashwatthama. Okay? He has been living, doing tapas for 5,000 years. 5,000 years. From the time of the Mahabharata onwards. You think it is an easy life? Just living? How much has the world changed? Yeah. When he sees the way things are happening in India, he'll want to destroy everything. What is happening in our neighbors, etc., finish them all off, one shot. But he has made that tapas that I will not do it. These are not just legends and stories, huh? These are in a way facts. Even today in the foothills of the Himalayas, in the villages, you will find this man coming. Huge guy. Okay? Huge guy. Dressed as a sadhu. Dhoti and angavas. Okay? But he's not like a sadhu, he's a solid guy. Muscular guy. And the only thing he'll beg for is, give me some oil. महाराज जी तेल क्यों चाहिए? Why do you want oil? घाव भरने का है. I want to apply it on my wound. That's the only thing that gives him some freedom from pain. I tried to find out where he is. My days in Rishikesh. I said, come on, yaar. 5,000 years of tapas. What a person he will be to meet. Okay. From the time of Mahabharata onwards. Yeah. I missed him by 8 hours. In a place. That's the closest I come to seeing. Then I said, forget it. Not meant to be. Not meant to be. So, but the thing is it really a blessing? Try interacting with somebody 30 years younger than you. The movies you have seen is different. The history that you have seen in making is different. Like I was mentioning to a couple of the commandos about the last war we fought. Said, yes sir, Kargil. I said, Kargil was not a war, that was just a little bit border action. Last war was in 71. And none of those characters has been there in that war. What do I have in common with these guys? So how much are you going to communicate? 100, you are living 500 years? Not a wonder Ashwatthama is living away from the society, doing his tapas. Yeah. So that is why he says, Api sarvam jivam alpameva. I mean, it is not a great blessing. Tavaiva vaha tavarnatya gite. It's almost insulting statement he makes. Keep your dance and music to yourself. I don't want it. As a Brahmin boy, he must also got a bit affronted. He's offering me all that. What, I'm going to sleep with anyone and everyone. What? Come on. Even if I'm polyamorous, I'm not going to sleep with everyone. Yeah. So, Tavaiva vaha tavanatya gite. But politely he says it. Okay. Then he explains himself further why he doesn't want it. He also probably understands that Yama is testing him, So he says, Na vittena tarpaniyaha manushaha lapsyamahe vittam adriksham chetvam jivishyamaha yavad ishyasi tvam varastu tvam me varniyam eva sa eva. Smart guy. Okay. Smart guy. Okay. Na vittena tarpaniyaha manusha. A human being is not satisfied by money alone. Swamiji, give me $1 billion, then we will talk about it. Why do you want $1 billion? Why? Because I want to do this, I want to do that. So money is what money does. Are you satisfied with the money? I'll give you $1 billion. You can't touch it, but. I mean, at the most you can check your Excel sheet and all your bank reports and say, I have $1 billion. You can't spend it. Is that money useful for you? मेरे को 10-20 हजार मिलता है बहुत हो गया. Because that I can use. What is this $1 billion doing? It won't help me. Therefore, money is for what money does. So we are all looking for things. Why? To have a sense of fulfillment. Says that I am not going to get all this. Yeah. Correct. King Mida's story is similar. Yeah. Everything it touches turns to gold, including people. Then what's the point? You can't touch anyone. Can you imagine living a life without touching anyone? Can't give a hug. Can't shake hands also. What type of a life is that? So similarly here, now with another. Lapsya mahe vittam adarsham. Baba, I have come to have your darshan. I am not going to go back empty handed. Smart. You go to see a king, go to see a king, you think you'll go back empty handed? Thoda return gift kuch milega na. As it is, has got a great mala. So money I will have anyway. That's not a problem. I come to see you. I'm not going to go away empty handed. Jivishyama yavadishyasi tvam. And now that I had your darshan, I will live as long as you will it. My life is in your hands now. Ekdam smart. Mera dori tere haath. Chalo. Have you heard that bhajan? Hey Gunda, hey Gopal, Rakho Laj, mere dori tere haath. All that. Hey, sab idhar se aaya hai. Yeah. But remember, whoever has your string, you're still a puppet, okay? Is that what you want to be? If you want to be a puppet on a string, it doesn't matter who is pulling the string. ये तो भक्ति थोड़ा सोच के समझ के करना है. Okay. But if you want to give me the third boon, that is the boon that I'm asking. What is beyond life and death? Yeah. Nothing else. I will not be satisfied with anything else. He's sticking to his guns. If you don't want to give me, that's a different thing. Yeah. What do you think Nachiketa would have said if Yama said, I'm not going to give it to you? Come on, I students think.
You camp outside only, please. You will stay there only.
That's okay, you stay. खाओ पियो मजा करो कोई बात फर्क नहीं पड़ता मेरे को. Hundreds of people say, Rohit has said something. He has already promised it. Remember our culture, the promise is already given that I will give you the third boon. You can't go back. Especially as Yamaraja, you can't go back. Another would be what? What should I do to gain that third boon? What should I do? This is what I want. If you think I'm not ready, what should I do? When I walked out to study, I didn't have any role models. And I came from a very different culture and background. Merchant Navy, sailing around the world. Partying the night away. Very different culture background. So role model nahi tha. So, but I decided I'll go and ask Swamiji. Ask and thou shalt receive. Without asking, thodi man. Then the question came up in my mind only. What if he says no? And I decided, what should I do to be ready to be there? I'm sure Nachiketa also would have done the same thing. Anyone wants to be full-time, don't try to pull that one on me, okay? I'll have counters that you not have thought about. Okay, then he says, Ajiryatam amrutanam upetya jiryan martyaha kwadastha prajanan abhidhayan varnanitas pramodaha nati dirge jivato korameta. He says, Ajiryatam amrutanam upeti. Amrutanam, those people who are in other dimensions, who are going to live as long as the kalpa is there. People like that. In those dimensions I have reached. Ajiryata. Where there is no old age, death, etc. As long as the kalpa is there, you are going to be there. Yama, all the karma devas, Yama, Indra, Varna, Vayu, Agni, etc. They are there as long as it. Therefore, having reached them, Jiryan Martyaha, a mortal who has got old age, disease, death, etc. Okay? Kvadasta Prajan. Okay. Who's staying in the lower dimensions but knows about the higher goal. Abhidhayan Varnastama Pramodaha. Knowing all this, are you going to spend your time in all the simple pleasures of life? Khao, piyo, maja karo. How long? Now my mind is opened up to the higher possibility. I am not going to be satisfied with anything less than that. I mean, if it is there, I can enjoy it. I am sure Nachiketa would, if it was there, he would have enjoyed it. If you say, no, I can't enjoy anything in life, then something wrong with your pleasure center in the brain, okay? We are talking about a boon, this or that. This or that. He says, Nati dirge jivite korameta. Okay? And a long life of song and music and dance. It seems almost purposeless. When your mind is open to moksha, all this seems almost purposeless. Kya karna hai? See, that is the thing. When your mind opens up to something greater, the other things loses their meaning. Has it happened to all of us? जब मैं बिल्कुल बच्चा था बहुत शरारत करता था. Okay? What was the thing important? Balloons, toys, marbles, dolls, action figures. Then, once you became a teenager, does those things may have any sense for you? Yeah. Yeah, other things, so many things open up. So many things you want now. So many things which are so attractive. Those things are gone. Yeah. So, as you mature out, these things seem meaningless. Not exactly meaningless, but no big deal. It's no big deal. It is no big deal because that's not what you are really looking for in life. You are looking for much more things. Yeah. Looking for much more. Yeah. Like asking a sadhu, what did you give up to be here? Nothing. I gained so much, there's nothing to give up. Who's talking about giving up? Yeah. What you gained is so much. What is giving up? Yeah. Because your mind is opened up to higher things. Moksha is like that. Now no more small things. You are not going to beg for some pleasures in life. Beg for some moments of joy. You want to be Ananda Sarupa. That's it. Nothing short of that. Nothing short of that. Yeah. That requires a certain maturity, a certain discernment. That is not age dependent. It is not age dependent. I have seen people in their 70s. Swamiji, I am lonely. I lost my wife 10 years back. I can understand that. Hey. So why don't you get married to someone? Swamiji, who will give me a girl now? He has not learned in all these years, not learned how to be on your own. Even when you are with your family, you need to do that. Even when you have your partners, children, etc. with you, you need to do that. To handle your sense of loneliness, to handle your sense of being alone. Those are the lessons of life, but not learned. Not learned. Therefore, then you will become like this. My friend's father, he is no more now. But 20 years back, he started an organization, a setup for senior citizens to find partners in life. Those who have lost their partners, etc. I said, good initiative. I was appreciative of that. But then all the other side I was also thinking, yaar, ho gaya abhi na. No, go for moksha, things like that. No. But mind is not ready. You're still longing for those things. Mind is not ready. Not enough Viveka Vairagya has happened. Like one of my friends, she's a teacher of Vedanta. And she has a younger sister. Younger sister means what? She's in her 50s, okay? He said, don't you want to gain some spiritual knowledge, this, that, etc.? And that girl says, no, 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 I'm not ready for moksha. I want to come back for 2-3 lives at least. Enjoy life for 2-3 lifetimes. Then after that I will think of it. Okay. You have some idea how long it will take for you to mature out. 2-3 lifetimes. I mean, we all took time to mature out. So in that sense, I am compassionate to that. At the same time, hey, if not now, when? If not now, when? The sooner you get into it, the better it is. Yeah. Find a sampradaya teacher and learn. That's it. So Nachiketa is very clear on that. Okay. Korameta. Yeah, that's the idea. See, he is demonstrating that he understands the relative value of them. That how great these things can be, everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows that. What problems it can create, he is pointing out. And how limited these things are. How limited these things are. That's what he is showing here, you know. Yeah. He is smart. He is not saying they are useless for me, etc. He says, why will I want them? Yeah. It's like a whole chocolate cake is available for you, but you are putting a little bit sugar in your mouth. If you are a sweet lover, I am talking about. Okay.
Amiji, this maturity of mind is also God's grace, no? Or karma. What? What it is?
Your viveka, your analysis of life and how much you have learned from the life lessons. Yeah. How much you have learned from life. Pariksha Lokan. Remember in Mundaka we saw that. How much
but he has not seen much life, no? So it has to be God's grace or something, no?
God's grace, previous lifetimes. See, you don't have to go through everything yourself. You can watch the society and learn. Everyone thinks romance is a big thing, but you find the lovers are fighting all the time. Partners are fighting all the time. Husband and wife don't even ask. Like somebody sent me a forward today. Those who are unsuccessful in love, they become poets and write beautiful poetry. And those who become successful in love, that means they got the person they wanted. They are cutting onions for dal, making dal. Unsuccessful, you have become a poet. Successful, you are chopping onions. Dal banane ke. Are you getting the idea? Observe and you will see what is happening. It is not that, otherwise you will have to say, a doctor can't treat malaria because he has not suffered from malaria. That's foolishness. No? Then a cardiac specialist should have had a heart attack. And it's impossible. Yeah. You learn a lot by watching society. And that is how primarily kids learn. Kids learn by observation. That's why you think kids don't know. They don't know much more than what you thought of. Like one of my friends got married, younger friends. Okay, long back this was, very long back. And he had one nephew, one niece. So the younger one was 5-year-old, the older one was 7. So after the marriage, these people are saying, oh, they are going on a honeymoon. So the 5-year-old is asking the 7-year-old, Didi, what is honeymoon? What do you expect a 7-year-old's answer? The answer shocked me. He says, after you get married, now you get Nangu Pangu. That getting Nangu Pangu is called honeymoon. 7-year-old. This is almost 20 years ago, okay? 7-year-old. How much that kid has observed and understood life? I mean, there are a lot of details, but the fundamentals are clear. Na? The concept is there. How did she get this concept? 7-year-old kid. Observation of society. They see, hear, experience much more than what you give them credit for. Much more. Yeah. This is not to frighten all the young parents here. there are a few young parents. This is just to make you aware what kids are, what you were when you were that age. Okay? What you were when you were that age. So many things you knew. Yeah. So, observation of society, analysis of what's happening, will teach you a lot of life. And some experience you go through. Some experience you go through. Why? Because you're living in the society. You can't live in the society without going through some experiences, isn't it? If you're lucky, you will get a lot of experience at a young age. If you're not, it will take some time, that's all. But by the time you're 25, whatever experience you had is enough. That's why a little bit working, a little bit of being an entrepreneur for some time, a little bit of a relationship, that's enough in today's world. I'm talking about today's. Okay? Enough to know the ephemeral nature of the world, to understand what samsara is. For want of a partner, I felt lonely. I got a partner, but in one thing we are having a big disagreement and she doesn't understand me. I am still feeling lonely then. In spite of having a partner, I thought having a partner I will not feel lonely. But he or she doesn't understand me, therefore gone. We are all islands of loneliness, lonely beings. All this relationship, communication, etc. is only a bridge across. It doesn't make it one, it's only a bridge. And sometimes the bridge collapses. Like if you have a rain like this, the bridge will collapse. So sometimes storms in life will make it collapse also. You have to rebuild it. Yeah. So that's what life is about. Therefore he says, Yasminidam vichikitsanti martyaha yat samparaye mahati bruhi nastad yoyam varaha gudam anupravishtaha nyanyat tasmad nachiketo vranite Yasminidam vichikitsanti martyaha. Says this is the topic that all mortals think about at some time or the other. Okay? At some time or the other. The greatest bhokta in the world has thought about this. What will happen after death? Kuch hai kya, nahi hai kya? Then because you don't get answers, you forget about it. You are so busy managing life, you don't know where you are headed. Yeah. You're so busy managing life, This has to be done, that has to be done, 100 things have to be taken care of. Which is true, life is like that, 100 things have to be taken care of. That's why some of us become control freaks, because I have to keep everything in control and manage everything. Yeah. So you're so busy managing everything. Your life goes in managing, and then challenges, that never a dull moment. Yeah. So when are you going to think about higher things? कभी सोचने वाला है. The class also becomes one of the things you have to manage. I'm so busy with things now, ये class में अभी time पर है. Class is not one of the things to manage. Class is what will free you from the whole need. Yeah. Therefore, he says, Yasminism vichikinsanti martya. All of us have thought about it sometime. Yes, samparaye mahati bruhinastad. And I've heard, if you understand what is beyond life and death, it's a great result called moksha. Remember, he's born up and brought up in this culture. His father was a rishi. You mean to say he wouldn't have heard about moksha, etc.? I've heard about it. Suna hai. I've heard about it. Never bothered to know it up till now. You can excuse him for that. Not the teenager, puberty. Okay, never bothered. But now that I've got a chance, Yoyam vara gudam anupravishta. This hidden knowledge, gudam, hidden knowledge. Yoyam vara, that is what is the boon I am asking for. Na anya tasma nachiketo vrinete. I am not going to ask for anything else. You can give it to me, don't give it to me. But this is what I want. It shows his commitment to moksha. His commitment, that this is it. Yeah. Now the Guru has a right to say you are not ready, this, that, etc. Fine, that's all right. Then I'll take care of that and come. But I want this. That type of a commitment. That type of a commitment is what mumukshutvam is all about. How much do you really want moksha in this lifetime? Or are you saying, is it really mumukshutvam or is it a shubhecha? What is shubhecha? Acha hai, all good things. We all start with shubhecha. You know how I got introduced to all this? My mother wanted me to learn chanting of the Gita. Me and chanting Gita. Can you imagine it? Mothers also have desires which are most inappropriate. So one of my classmates, family friends, the parents were friends, we youngsters were also friends. We never moved in the same circles. For me, he was too much of a nerd. Okay, we never really moved in the same circle. Okay. But we are friends, we are classmates. So his parents said, no, my son is going, going to something like that. Send your son. I said, dekhega. What is it about? What is it about? Out of curiosity. The chanting part I never used to like. Somehow chanting and me didn't gel. Not that I didn't have the music. I used to play the bugle. Okay, I was quite a fairly good buglist until I injured my vocal cords. So, yeah. But there were some discussions about things, which I liked. I said, okay, this will give me some good knowledge about our culture, heritage, acha hai. That's how it started. Though the study group sevak there must have wished, why did I ever join that class? I used to drive them up the wall with my questions and my arguments. They used to go crazy. So we all start with a shubhecha. Something about what is it? What is it about? I'd like to know. Or maybe something good. Or maybe after all, we should be in touch with our culture. Especially if you are abroad, you will feel like this. And if you have young children, definitely you want them to be in touch with the culture. That's how everyone starts getting into all these things. But somewhere that shift has to happen, and you have to say, hey, it is much more than that. This is not one of the things in my life, this is the thing that I am going for. Other things I will take care of. Families are, of course, I will take care of it. Partner, of course, I will be there. Parents, children, etc., of course, I will be there, I will do it. But I need more than all that. This is my commitment. My personal growth, all the way to moksha, matters to me. That was Nachiketa. I am not going to ask for anything else. This is what I want. My commitment is to this and this alone. Remember, he asked for 2 other boons. For his father's peace of mind, that he should be able to recognize him, etc. He took care of what has to be done. See, that also shows his idea of duty he took care of. No? Yeah. My father should not be unnecessarily worrying about me because he has sent me to hell. Literally. Not hell, Yamaloka. Yamaloka is different from hell. The Western concept of hell and Yamaloka are entirely different. Oh. And father should be okay. Then Loka Sangraha finds people all wanting to go to heaven, etc. All right, what is the yaga that will take them to heaven? That also he got. All the 2 was for family, society that he knew. Then for yourself, 3rd he reserved for himself. That means what? Look at it. When we talk about duties, no, everyone has lectured to you all about duties. You only talk about duties towards others. What about duty towards yourself? कोई बोला है अभी तक? You have a duty towards yourself. That's your growth. You gaining all the way to moksha. That is your duty towards yourself. Yeah. But we are so caught up in the duty towards others, we forget this. And nobody talks about this. They try to dissuade you about this. Because they think they have lost you. My parents also thought they had lost me. But I took care of them. I waited to take the robes until I did my father's last rites. You don't really lose anything. Yeah. So the boy is he has got his perspectives right about things. And then he is saying, 3rd boon, that is it. I want to know about the truth of life and death. Nothing else. Are people clear on this? The whole question about his commitment. Yeah, that's very important to understand. All this story is to understand how committed Nachiketa was to this.
Yes,
No compromise in this. Yeah. I mean, he knows he has to go back. He knows that. He can't stay in Yamaloka. How can he stay in Yamaloka? He's still alive. He's still got a mortal body. He can't be there. He has to come back. He knows that. You don't go to an ashram and stay there forever. No. Once the study is over, you're kicked out. Okay, go. That's the right thing. That's the right thing. People sitting for years in an ashram trying to do some small work here and there, they become good for nothing. The knowledge also doesn't settle down in them. How do you know? I've been seeing from 72 onwards, I've been seeing students in the ashram. Yeah. So I always tell the guys, Samji, I never want to leave the ashram. So beautiful here. Idiot. Finish your studies, get out. Yeah. Learn to be independent and create your own atmosphere inside you, not outside. But after being in Rishikesh, how do you find Bombay? Great. But polluted, yeah, it is. But your atmosphere is carrying inside you. You are in harmony with everything. Learn to do that. Therefore, Nachiketa also knows he has to come back. No choice. All that is fine, but I want this knowledge. After that, whatever has to be necessary to be done will be done. What's the big deal about it? Once you have the knowledge, what's the big deal about doing anything? it's important sometimes to understand people's lives. There are 2 books I gave my father so that he will understand what it is about. And 2 books have the completely different perspective, but the same truth is there in it. One is Ishvara Darshana, the autobiography of Tapovan Maharaj, Swami Chinmayanji's Vidyaguru. Himavad Vibhuti, the glory of the Himalayas, he was called. It's available with Chinmaya Mission publication, or you'll get it, Amazon, you'll get it. That's one good book to read. The other, this completely different cultural background, okay, coming in, is what you call The Razor's Edge by Somerset Maugham. Great books. Read them and you will understand what it is all about. Okay, yeah. I mean, as nuances. So think it over, and we will come to Yama's answer to this question next class. Okay? Good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.